Hey everybody, what's going on? Today I'm talking about drones. Two of the newest drones from DJI, of course, the FPV and the Air 2S. Now the reason I'm kind of pairing these two together is because they come around the same price point thereabouts. Actually, the Air 2S is slightly more expensive, but if you're in the market for a drone, you're thinking maybe I want to do some aerobatic shots, I want to do something really cool. Should I go for the FPV or do I go for something a little bit more cinematic with the Air 2S? We're going to compare the footage and see which one might be right for you. So with that, let's play with some drones. So the first drone I'll be talking about is the FPV. Now, I've never really flown an FPV drone before. I did one initially when they had this press release or press event here in Singapore for this bad boy. And it was a little nerve-wracking. It was exciting. It's fun because you get to put on the goggles and it feels like you're playing a video game. But when they say that this can go up to 140 kilometers per hour, 87 miles per hour for you American folks out there, including myself, I'm not going to test it at that speed today because this goes back to them. I don't own this. I don't want to lose it because I have to pay for it. I mean, big thanks to the DJI team here in Singapore, but I'm going to fly it in maybe, normal and maybe a little bit of sport mode, and that's about it, all right? If you want to see some more extreme versions of this flight with the FPV, I think there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube, but this is more for a lot of you maybe newbies out there like myself who've never flown FPV before. Is this something you want to invest in? But in terms of video quality, of course, up to 4K 60, but this is a much smaller sensor than the Air 2S, which we'll talk about in just a second. Your total flight time is around 20 minutes in normal mode. If you want to go into sport mode, around 10 minutes thereabouts. So you're going to need a few batteries. Unfortunately, I only have one for this review. So this will be a one flight wham bam shot. Thank you very much. So I'll be putting together some footage that I've shot over the last few days in the montage later on in this video. Now, in terms of design, this is a much more refined FPV drone that we're used to seeing out there, as many of you have already seen out there on YouTube, and of course, those of you who own this. It's really well built, well constructed. The battery is quite hefty. That is the majority of the weight here on this, but I love the design, and the way that it starts up is crazy sci-fi. It's just sound effects not included. You don't have to worry about that. That's from my mouth, no licensing. But you'll see it in just a bit how it starts up. It's really cool. But anyway, enough about the design. Let's fly this thing. Let's have some fun. Okay, so before we kick things off flying this, I do want to let you know a little bit about the setup. If you've never set this up before, it is a little bit convoluted. Case in point, there is no FPV drone icon in the DJI Fly app. So what you have to do is you have to sync via the goggles, and you have to plug that into your iPhone or Android phone. Then the app will recognize the drone, and then you can set it up from there. But then after that, you're pretty much reliant on the goggles because you're not going to be using the phone to fly it because you use the controller, or you have that hand controller, which I don't have with me on this one. So just take note of that. If you're wondering, if you're getting this for the first time, you're wondering, where is the FPV icon in the DJI Fly app? You have to sync it up from your phone. That's the way to use it. Or you can do it from your PC or Mac, but I found the phone to be a lot easier. Anyway, that's it. Of course, with the goggles, got to strap it on. I got a micro SD card in there. You have to have the battery with this. Put this in your pocket pretty much. You put this over your head. Controller, drone, you turn them all on. They're all synced out of the box as they come out of the package. If not, you can sync them. All the instructions are there. And that's pretty much it. So let's throw all this stuff on and let's get going. How cool is that? Honestly, that alone might be worth just getting the FPV drone, just for that reason. I'm a little bit geeking out, but that's really cool. So right now I'm actually going over the ocean real quick because, I just want to see what the ships look like, the barges. It's actually really beautiful out there. Beautiful blue sky with clouds. I'm about 150 meters up. It's absolutely beautiful. And now I'm just gonna break it and I'm gonna return home. But I have to say the image quality coming out of these goggles is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. That's pretty much it. That's round one. That's just on normal mode. So now I'm gonna go back up one more time because I think I have a little bit more left in flight for the battery, and we'll try a little sport mode up there. This could get a little bit dizzy looking at this, so just heads up. Anyway, back on with the goggles. Let's take her out again. Now, one thing with sport mode is, if you probably already know this by now, is all the sensors are turned off. So I will be on my own. Okay. We're gonna show you the speed of this. I'm gonna go into sport mode, right? Watch this bad boy take off. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. RC signal weak. Come back. There's a lot of interference in this area, so we got to be careful about that. Okay, about 39% battery left, so hit the brake. Go back to normal mode. And coming home. So the battery's about 35% at this point in time, so there's not a lot of flight time in this FPV. That's why you want to get multiple batteries. But sport mode can, looking through the goggles, it can get you a little bit jittery. If you get motion sickness, you might want to stick to normal mode, but it's a lot of fun. Obviously, maybe I can, you know what? Maybe I can fly around here a little bit on sport mode. Maybe do a couple banks. What do you think, Ion? Should we do it?
Sure.
Should we do it? Let's give it a shot. Now, this does have obstacle avoidance, or at least it slows down when you are in normal mode. Let me try to go around this tree real quick. Whoa. To be honest with you, normal mode is probably good enough for a lot of people out there, to be frank. I mean, sport mode, of course, you want to have some fun, we can. Low battery. Have to go back in 3 seconds. And we're going back home. That's it. And it's cutting grass. There she is. That's it, folks. Battery's done. It actually wasn't too bad. Got some beautiful shots. And of course, we'll be showing you more footage that I recorded over the past few days. Now, one thing you're gonna notice, come over here, Kong, check this out, is hear the fan on this thing. This is like a gaming PC, the way that the fan's going on. Full on, I mean, there's a lot of heat coming from this, so yeah, that's it. So there we have it. FPV is a lot of fun. Now, let's try the Air 2S. So one of the attributes of the Air 2S, of course, is 5K 430, 1-inch sensor. You can shoot in D-Log. So this is a much more of a cinematographer's drone, consumer grade, of course, because we're not talking about the big ones. And of course, it has master shots. So this will automatically take a series of shots that'll give you more of that cinematic look. So we'll actually try that throughout this, this flight test here real quick. So, yeah. So I guess what we're gonna do now is take off. So the controls on this, of course, I think you can set this up, but the controls on this are opposite of what I was using for the FPV, so it's all in reverse. I'm gonna go into tripod mode, get that very cinematic shot. Sending smooth, slow speed. Because this is all about the cinema, right, on this one. This is absolutely beautiful, look at this shot. That sun peeking through the clouds on here. This is really what this drone is about, is that cinematic look. And of course you want to, you know, stay with what your eye can see. So I can sort of see where it's at right now. So now I'm going to go into master shot mode because I think this is going to be really good on this.
Three, two, one.
Okay, it's got it. It's adjusting aircraft position. Droning. So now it's kind of doing its own thing for master shot. So it's going to put a series of shots together. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go around. And we're shooting it in, I think now it's in 1080 if I'm not mistaken. Now it's going to circle around this. It's gonna be really cool. Now you are gonna see a little bit of the propellers in the shot, so of course you'll have to crop some of that out. Now if at any point that it does lose signal, then obviously it will come home. Now it's actually pitching up, it's pitching forward. So you're seeing a lot of things with the camera, how it's moving around. And of course you can intercut and edit this all together, and we'll do that in this video. So you see the full results of this. It's doing a roll and fly. I mean, and it's these subtle little shots that you want to add into it, so when you really put this montage together, it just really kind of comes alive. But it just looks absolutely beautiful. Now this 1-inch sensor, of course, is really going to make things fantastic. You can see right there what it's doing. The zoom in, the zoom out. It's doing all these great shots. And of course, I'm staying within the parameters here in Singapore because we are quite strict in terms of drones. So I'm actually trying to, keep this the way it should be. No, it does rocket. It's a rocket move. Oh, it's going up. Wow, that's beautiful. Look at that kind of. Now it's just kind of. Now it's kind of going around, seeing what's around there. Camera straight into send. This is stunning. Look at the horizon with the ships there, the blue skies, the water. This is beautiful. Master shot complete. Aircraft returning to original location. It's going home. It's already created a little bit of a video, which we'll play in just a bit. But of course, we're going to edit our own little video and yeah, have some fun with this. We're going to grade it. We're going to have some fun. 5.4K. Of course, I think Master Shot was in 1080, if I'm not mistaken, looking at the screen. But I'll show you some 5.4K as well. But for you professionals out there, you probably aren't going to use Master Shot. You're going to do your own shots. But for newbies out there, this will be a really cool thing to put together and, quick little edit as well. So not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. A little warm to the touch, but success. Anytime your drone comes back to you in one piece, it's a successful flight. So yeah, and let's check out the footage. So with that, guys, let's show you a little bit of a montage of footage from the FPV and the Air 2S, and I'll come back with my final thoughts on these two drones. Okay, so final thoughts on these two drones. The footage out of this Air 2S is breathtakingly beautiful, and I'm just doing some basic shots, guys. I mean, there's a lot of other videos out there from a lot of great cinematographers that are really pushing it to its limits. Because these are not my drones, and if something happens to them, I have to pay for them. I am trying to be a little bit careful with what I do, and also because of where we're at in Singapore, where we can fly, there's not a lot of really cool shots that we can get here like other places. So I'm just trying to kind of give you guys an idea of what you can do with this drone. But of course, in your respective countries, how creative you can go is up to your rules and of course, where you live. But having said that though, I mean, the FPV is a lot of fun. The controls are very intuitive. I mean, it feels like you're playing a video game, but of course, you're flying something. The speed, sports mode, for me personally, I probably wouldn't do that because I'm not a competition FPV drone flyer. I'm gonna be one of those that's gonna use this more for cinematic shots or really cool aerial shots, tracking somebody, following something around, getting some nice scenic shots, but at the same time, it's a little quick action to it. I think this FPV drone is a lot of fun for that. This Air 2S is beautiful. The footage out of this 1-inch sensor, I mean, DJI has been doing some great things with their drone cameras as of late over the last couple years, and this is sort of a culmination of all that into a very consumer-oriented device. And for a lot of you out there, I think this is gonna be the more user-friendly one. And of course, better battery life, longer battery life for that matter, around 30 minutes or so, 5.4K, but you probably won't ever shoot in 5.4K because I just ran out of a card like that. So, but if you want something that's really gonna give you some fun and some excitement, I kind of would go for the FPV. But this is a lot of fun as well. So it's really a tough call, to be frank with you. Of course, with the FPV, you only get one battery with it. You do get the goggles and the controller, and you're gonna have to invest in that. Of course, if you get the Fly More package with this, you're gonna have a few other batteries. But if you have a Mavic Air 2 or any other drone that has those same batteries, then you can put them in this Air 2S, no issues at all. But yeah, I mean, this is obviously gonna be the best one for the novice out there. But if you wanna live on the, live on the edge a little bit, this is worth it in my opinion. Anyway, these are my thoughts on these great drones. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like always, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, like this video. Helps out the channel a lot, helps us out a lot here at Tech 360. With that, guys, stay safe. I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care.